everybody to remember me as an Iwadui, as an Ibaloy. Maptang, Jamasyam, Sonse kayon amin. Well, for those among you who were able to understand that phrase, thank you very much. Kasi kayo po yung sasagot mamaya sa Q&A. Sa mga na-curious naman, kung ano ba yung mga elements na kinailangan bago ko sabihin yon, well, let's talk about the rudiments. Once again, good afternoon, sirs and madams. Acknowledgements to our on-site participants from the College of Arts and Humanities together with our online participants. Palakpakan nga natin ang isa't isa para mabuhay tayong lahat. Ayun, maraming salamat. I hope that could be the level of engagement as we go through, once again, the rudimentary information introducing one of the languages spoken here in the province of Benguet. I wish to exaggerate by shifting first the letter L to letter D.
I will be presenting this as a research because there are things that I want to emphasize that I went through when I had this research. Kaya ipopresent ko talaga siya as a research yung mga, what do you call this? The parts of the research. Actually, Sir Joshua, I wrote it in my bio note, no, that I actually taught 23 years in St. Louis University, and this was a product, at nung umalis ako doon natulog. This research, natulog, hindi ko na pinabayaan because I thought I will not anymore go back to academic teaching. But thank you for BSU, binubuhay ninyo ang pag-aaral at ang puso ko sa pag-aaral muli ng language and literature and indigenous knowledge and systems. So I will present this because I want to give life once again to this natutulog na sana na research. Kaya I did not even publish this. Oo, that's why my advisor said, sayang, hindi na ikaw ang original because I did this 2018. So, but as I've been listening to the presentations a while back, this research affirm and confirm kung ano yung mga lumabas sa aking research. So, tama ba? And sa PowerPoint pa lang, nakikita na natin yung generation. Ano? I will not have a PowerPoint like the PowerPoint of Sir with the Peppa Pig kasi wala pa ako sa panahon ng Peppa Pig at iba pa. Ano? Kaya makikita ninyo yung pati yung aking, my PowerPoint presentation. So, this is actually a framework for the integration of IKSP, particularly in language education. So this will be how I am going to discuss this, the introduction, method, findings, and discussions, and of course, the conclusion and recommendation. As I have said, I will use yung mga parts talaga ng research. Okay, so we know that throughout the world, there is a significant paradigm shift is underway in which indigenous knowledge and ways of knowing are recognized as complex knowledge system. So this is very important. Even before, when you are going to search for indigenous knowledge, there are a lot of indigenous studies abroad, particularly Canada, America, and Africa. Medyo nahuhuli na talaga tayo. And as I mentioned a while back in the rationale, it was only in 2019 that we were mandated to include in our syllabus indigenous knowledge systems. But you will be surprised that even before, we are already integrating IKSP. That is one thing that I want us to remember now. We were already integrating IKSP, pero hindi natin alam that those are indigenous knowledge systems. So ito ang lumabas sa research because one thing is, there are two outputs here. When I proposed this, how are you going to know that these are indigenous? I have to come up with a checklist. So yung mga checklist ko is based on the studies abroad kasi dito wala pa. And also, my output is a simulacrum na pwede rin na gawin ng iba kasi ang output na natin ngayon medyo pare-pareho na yung mga output natin. But you can also come up with a simulacrum wherein I will be showing it later. So again, there is a paradigm shift. And we feel that in our own university. Everybody already talks about indigenous knowledge. Everybody talks about God. That is a paradigm shift. And what I want us to know is that indigenous knowledge is a complex knowledge system. Hindi po siya yung iniisip natin na katutubo. Because when we talk about katutubo, that's why a lot don't want to be recognized as a member of a tribe. No, buti nga kasi yung tribe parang may negative connotation. That's why they're already using ethno-linguistic group. Why? Because we think that if you say katutubo, backward. No. So, indigenous knowledge, there are complex knowledge system wherein it should be passed down to the next generation. You see, when the pandemic came, yung iba naman ang ginamit nila is indigenous J-suub, di ba? That is a complex, I think, system of curing the pandemic. So that is an indigenous knowledge system, agsuob. Tama ba? So that should be our point of view when we talk about knowledge systems. So with an integrity of their own. When you say integrity, it has been proven. May mga proof. Ngayon kasi ang sinasabi natin, may integridad yung research mo pag napatunayan mo, scientific yan. But indigenous knowledge also, they have an integrity of their own. It was proved. It is correct and it is effective. Just like the SOOB during the pandemic. So, indigenous knowledge systems, they are also known as local knowledge, folk knowledge, people's knowledge, traditional wisdom, no? Sir talked about a while back of wisdom, and it's deeper when you say wisdom. So in Filipino, iba ang karunungan sa kagalingan or kaalaman. When you say karunungan, that is wisdom. It's more of, alam mo, pero kung may dunong, iba yun. Diba? Or you're intelligent, but there are times a lot of people intelligent sila pero walang wisdom. So maybe we also would, when we talk about indigenous knowledge, they are product of wisdom, traditional wisdom. It has been proven. Traditional science or traditional knowledge are the intangible heritage of numerous societies around the globe. Ngayon lang natin binubuhay ang study, and we will see it later, ang study ng indigenous, and good, we're already starting it. Here, those are tangible and intangible heritage. An example of tangible, if we are going to use, nabanggit natin ng Ifugao, Banawi rice terraces, that is an intangible heritage, right? Yes? That is an intangible heritage. And Abra, they have what we call the Lapat system. What is the Lapat system? That is an, tangible heritage is the rice terraces. Abra, they have the Lapat system, and Lapat system is an intangible heritage. What is Lapat system? These are, in Abra, ito yung they have to protect. When we say Lapat system, natural resource management. They have to protect nature, the natural resources, because they believe that these natural resources, they are gift from God. Kaya hanggang ngayon, merong Lapat system. Budong system, that is an intangible heritage. And I will, what do you call this? I will explain more of that as we go along. And any community possess IKS. Any community, they possess indigenous knowledge system, whether rural or urban, settled or nomadic, or original inhabitants or migrants. It is based on ideas, experiences, practices, and information that have been generated by the local people and incorporated into their view of life and or expressed. There is where we are going to enter, as we are all language. We belong to the arts and humanities language, and they are expressed in local language. All of our speakers mentioned about the language being the instrument and heart of the culture. Culture lang siya. And when we talk about heritage, when we say heritage, what is culture? These are traditions, values, information. That is culture. When does it become a heritage? If it is passed down to the next generation. So if that is not passed down to the next generation, it is just a culture. So how are we going to pass them down? That is where we are going to enter through the local languages. So if you see the importance of the local languages. And any community possess IKS. Bakit kaya pag IKS lang, ang nami-mention sometimes are, for example, in the Philippine setting, kung minsan pag IKS, ang alam lang natin are Northern. I will go back to the, baka makalimutan ko rin yung mga iba narinig nyo na sa akin, ano? Indigenous came, the root word of indigenous is indigene. Hindi po indigent. Iba ang indigent sa indigene. So when we say indigent, yes, kung titingnan ninyo, mag-google kayo, pero mamaya na lang, ano, makinig muna. Indigent means extreme poverty. Kaya nga may mga the 4Ps tayo. Okay? Kaya yung iba, ayaw nilang ma-identify na IP sila kasi ang notion ng iba, pag IP ka, you are poor. You belong to the, yun nga, poverty. That is indigent. But of course, all over the world, hindi lang sa Pilipinas, talagang we will accept that there are indigents that the government are helping. We cannot deny that. But indigenous is indigene, which means local, original, native of that particular place. Bakit kaya palaging nasasabi na dito sa atin ang indigenous or indigene Cordillera? Why? Because of the concept that Cordillerans will never allow that our culture and heritage will be Hispanized, Americanized. Hanggang ngayon, we are practicing those traditions and culture. Ano? Okay. Anyway, baka lumayo tayo. So education should raise awareness of the positive value of cultural and linguistic diversity. So from the presentations this morning until with Sir, we see the beauty of cultural diversity and linguistic diversity. Diba? There is beauty in diversity. Paano kaya kung, and that is why Filipinos, we should be very proud. Sabi nila, just an example, how are you going to describe Americans? In one word. Americans are monolingual. Isa lang ang language na alam nila. Pero ang Filipino, we are very much multilingual. Tama? We know how to speak English. Filipino, asawa mo is from Mountain Province, ayaw mong magsalita ng kankana eh. Yung boyfriend mo ngayon is Korean. Yung ex mo ay Chinese. And then gusto mong papangasawa Japanese. Mga ganun, di ba? Your parents are both Visayan and Pangasinan. Pero ipinanganak ka dito sa Baguio. So we know really a lot of languages. We are very much multilingual. And that is the beauty. So here, linguistic, and to this end, curriculum should be reformed to promote a realistic and positive inclusion. So a while back, all our speakers, these are examples of realistic presentation of the different languages. Here, realistic, minority or indigenous history, culture, language, and identity. The cultural component of language teaching and learning should be strengthened in order to gain a deeper understanding of other cultures. So I know that with all the insights that we have, learnings, we will be a part of strengthening and having a deeper understanding of other languages through the use of the different indigenous languages that we have. So here, there are 6 principles as basis in determining what IKSP is. So para IKSP ba ito? Kasi kung minsan even ako nung sinabi nila na, di ba ilang beses na naibalik yung ating syllabus. Why? Kasi walang mention doon. Kung minsan, honestly, ang ginagawa lang natin, basta sa aim para may inclusion ng IKS, ang mga katutubong mga paksa ay dapat talakayin. Basta may word na katutubo, ibig sabihin, yung syllabus mo ay IKS related na. We have that notion, right? But when all of these things are included, there is indigenous knowledge. What are these? Practical common sense based on teachings and experiences passed from generation to generation. Tama? So meron yan. Like for example, Sir use Badiou, for example. So instead, sa literature subject natin, sa language natin, then pasulatin natin sila ng Badiou. So that is already para hindi tanong, saan ko kaya i-answer dito? Sa methodology, ano pa yung mga parts ng syllabus natin? Then, just when you say writing of a Badiou, but take note, Badiou is not just a song, it's a chant. So we should see the difference para talagang IKSB siya. Tingnan din ninyo Halimbawa, in love ka, you will not say, oy, gagawa nga ako ng chant para sa kanya. No. I think you will not say chant, but actually you are going to write a love song. So, iba ang love song, iba. May certain kuan ang Badiou and explain ni Sir kanina. Prayers chant asking God's blessing. Is na, pero pag ang inano mo ay yung emotion mo, that is not Badiou. But if you chant it, praying, for example, maybe for na kayo ang magkatuluyan, whoever that, then maybe that can be a chant. So let us take note of that. Also, IKSP is knowing the country that covers knowledge of the environment and the relationship between things. So it's also environment. I already mentioned a while back. The LAPAT system is an example of IKSP in relation to the environment, natural resources. And it should also be holistic, which cannot be compartmentalized and cannot be separated from the people who hold it. Bakit natin sinasabi na kultura nila? Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na culture pag mag-isa mo lang. But it becomes a culture if it is owned by a particular group of the people or by a particular community. So kung may mga ganito tayo sa ating silabay, there is already an integration of IKSP. It is an authority system that sets out the rules governing the use of resources. Authority system. Like for example, we have the budong of Kalinga and Abra. Hindi lang, and yung budong may process pa yan, na hindi nila basta ginagawa, they also have the authority to do that and to have that. As approved by the elders and the elders, panglakayan, pangamaan. Hindi lang yung pwedeng ikaw lang. It is approved. And the community, di ba, kaya nga may mga tayo ng NCIP, dapat yan ay inaprubahan ng community. It should be approved, it should be evaluated, ano yung term natin, validated by the community. Then it becomes an indigenous knowledge or it is owned by the people. And also it is a way of life. Part ng buhay ng mga group ng people na ito. And we know that. And giving credibility to people. Diyan papasok din kung minsan pag dumadaan sa NCIP yung mga natin. We ask, giving credibility to people who owns that particular knowledge system. So I included here in Article 14, Section 17 in our Constitution, therefore the state shall recognize, respect, and protect the rights of indigenous cultural communities to preserve and develop their cultures, traditions, and institutions. And ito yung alam natin na IPRA. Although, let us also be, kasi gumisan yung IPRA, sometimes they only talk about the protection of the ancestral rights and domain. So, as you can see, as we have presented IKSP, maraming topic dyan na pwedeng gawin or i-integrate. Anyway, these are the major questions. What are those integrated? And then pedagogy, how are we going? What are the pedagogy that can be applied in the integration of language classes? How is IKS integrated? And I know that we are already doing this. Here are the objectives. Propose a framework, pero parang medyo ka na yan, And qualitative, descriptive, documentary analysis. And the main tool is semi-structured face-to-face interview. And one, of course, is the coming up of a checklist. And I know that there is one study na talagang ang output niya is checklist lang. Although it was in a Mandarin language. Anyway, before this study employed analysis, and I used the syllabi of the Centers of Excellence in Teacher Education, and what it was a main tool. So a checklist was used in analyzing the syllabi, and actually this is also an output. Yun lang ang output na isa ay, I am a panel of one research, na ang output lang talaga na inagrian ng mga panels is yung checklist lang. Although ang study niya is about Mandarin language and he will come up with a manual, yung checklist lang is already an output na ipababalidate para yon ang magiging checklist sa lahat ng manual ng Mandarin. And that is already an output. So if you can come up with an output na ipabalidate, accepted by DepEd, CHED, siguro and BSU, that is already a big output for any study. Hindi ko na inano yung checklist na yan, no? That's why sabi ko nga, pinatulog ko na kasi ito. Okay. So here is the integration of IKS. So from the checklist, ito yung common na na-integrate that maybe we can carry or yun nga sabi natin, ginagawa na natin. So this morning, nag-focus naman siya sa history, right? So here, when there is a discussion of history and linguistic heritage, then that is IKS. Because you look back to the past, identity and cultural heritage, subjectivity and spirituality. I would just like to mention this one because when I had the chance to speak about Benguet heritage, may isang, although I will not anymore mention, ang question niya is, our ancestors, they already have Christianity daw. Because when we see they have their rituals, they have their beliefs. And I said, yeah, but I think the term that we are going to use for that is spirituality. Kasi ang Christianity, when Jesus Christ came, and sometimes medyo ang Christian at spirituality, anong tawag natin dito? What is the right term? Not interchange actually, kung minsan they contradict, di ba? Christianity says this, but spirituality says this. So maybe the term that we're going to use is spirituality. Anyway, sige. And under history, dito tayo papasok. History and linguistic heritage is the inclusion and illustration of history. And ang nakita natin sa syllabus is the use of mother tongue. And sino na yung nag-mention kanina? Sister Dinyata, yung yes, to 2024, nung sinabi na ibabalik, wala na ang mother tongue. But we do not lose hope because ano ang issue ngayon? What is the move now is integration of indigenous language in our own curriculum. In the, in higher education where we belong, actually we do not use mother tongue, but we are already integrating indigenous knowledge systems, particularly indigenous language, right? So, doon tayo papasok. Kahit hindi man naaprubahan, aalisin na mother tongue, panalo pa rin tayo because we have indigenous language that you can integrate in any subject. Kahit na anong subject natin. Kaya ngayong kanina. For example, I will mention it now, baka makalimutan ko kasing i-integrate mamaya dito, debate. In any subject, instead of ang pinagdedebatehan natin ay si I'm not campaigning. Si Marcos ba? Or si Duterte? Or si what? Why not debate on, do you agree? Do you still want that kalon? Ano yung kalon in Ibaloy? Kalon? Ano ba? Kalon? Kalon. Hindi kalon. Yun yung, let's apply what? Sir Jordan. It's not kalon, it's kalon. Maganda sigurong yun, i-integrate muna sa literature or language subjects natin, you debate on kalon. Do you still want that kalon you will be practice now? Ano yung kalon? Yung pinag-usapan ng magulang. Tama ba? Fixed marriage. Siyempre siguro ang lahat sasabihin nila, ay hindi na, ayoko na. But baka maganda ang lalabas dyan. Kasi nga, yung mga product ng kalon, fixed marriage, you see forever yung relationship nila. Yung mga nagkita lang ngayon, bukas, nag-usap, nagkape, kinabukasan sila na, what happens to the relationship? But when we see, maghahalongkat talaga sila ng mga information. That kalon is better because you see until now, yung ikinalon ay sila pa rin. My parents are product of Kalon. Yung mga elders ang nag-usap, although nagkagustuhan din naman sila. Pero lalo, mga ganon. So, we can already integrate them in our language classes. So, this, history and linguistic heritage, inclusion and illustration of history, of course, when we're already talking about Philippine language history, we're already integrating indigenous knowledge, right? History of the alphabet, yan, ito yung mga lumabas na nakita ko sa mga syllables in the checklist that I had. Nature, origin, and functions of language. Diba? Kung minsan yun yung mga introduction natin in our language subjects. Therefore, we're already integrating it. History of linguistics in the Philippines and in the world. History of the native people. O basta basahin ko. Language has an important relationship to knowledge, and the survival of a culture requires that any discussion of indigenous knowledge system must include language retention. Tama ba? Language retention, language preservation, and of course, idagdag na po natin ang revitalization. Nagulat na ako kanina, one of our speaker, ang alam ko lang endangered. Pero na-mention kanina that there is a possibility na yung mga indigenous language natin will become a dead language. And may mga listahan na 4 yata, sa SIL ba yun, na meron ng 4 na dead language. So I think endangered pa lang yung iba. Sana wag nating pahintulutan na mamamatay. So let's be an instrument of language survival, retention, and revitalization. Nagkano yata. So here, importance of first language, native tongue, local language, that is IKS. Comparison of first language to the Filipino language. Discussion of idiolect, sociolect, and dialect, that is already, because that is native. Pag-aarin na, yun lang ang hindi mawawala sa isang ethno, our own language. Or the variants of our language. And if I may include also, actually ang isa pang kasi yes, si Sir Fong ang here because of the Filipino language, nagulat nga ako, I appreciate, it's not because I also belong to the Filipino department, I appreciate Sir Kinod. I did not expect na yung kanyang presentation will be presented in Filipino language. Hindi niya sinabi yun, no? So you see how Ilocano also, so we can have that. So here, sana yung Filipino kasi, and also Sir Fong, ang isang basis niya kung bakit OY, kasi naging, how do you call this, commissioner ba? Ano na yung title noon ni Sir Fong sa KWF? Yeah, commissioner. He was once a commissioner of, commission ng wikang Filipino. Bakit ginamit niya ang OY? Kasi ang OY wala sa English, pero it is in the Filipino language. Oy. Kaya, yun din ang isa kung bakit inano niya ang Ibaloy na may OY. And of course, contextualizing content standards as language, important issues on language, culture, and society. Right? And when we talk about society, di ba? Since Cordilleran tayo, ang society naman siguro na ginagamit natin is in Cordillera. Not society of other nations. Then, IKS is being integrated. Different principles, rules, and regulation, and current issues on language, culture, and society. So most especially in our master's degree and PhD, para sana i-equip natin sila that they will really be a part of all this. Not only in the itong mga undergrad natin. So therefore, education is very vital for students to have a deeper understanding of who they are and be able to freely share their beliefs and experiences in life, most especially their culture, life, and one proper and available venue for this is in the language teaching process in the academic institutions. So I think naulit-ulit ito. Here, the loss of language is equivalent to the loss of spirit. Meron tayong palaging ginagamit sa Filipino na ang wika ay ang kaluluwa ng isang bansa. Right? So if we lose the language, we lose the spirit of one particular language. Yeah, siguro may ibang spirit, pero iba pa rin. Di ba? Or the spirit of another foreign language, pero iba pa rin talaga ang dating. If it is our own language ang gagamitin, baka iba ang patutunguhan. Tama ba? And I remember, ano yung naalala ko rito? When Sir Jordan was talking about the because I'm also a foreign language teacher. In Mandarin kasi pag sinabi mong you are hungry. Woel. Kaya yun palagi yung sinasabi sa mga estudyante. O tingnan ninyo, sila nagugutom. Pero pag sinabi natin na busog na busog tayo, di ba? Na tayo. Hmm? Ganon. So here, the more that we feel the value of our own language. So a deeper sense of morals. So what about subjectivity and spirituality? So when we talk already about subjectivity, sometimes our own beliefs and traditions, that is subjectivity and spirituality, we talk about deeper sense of moral and spiritual values. If we talk about language, religion, and rituals, yung mga yon, dagdagan natin, wag lang kabunyan and mambunong. Marami pang mga what we call words that we can use in our formulation of our lessons using this religion, indigenous words and rituals. Language and religion, ito, beliefs and tradition. And also a while back when Sir was talking about kayang, we can include, like for example, in Baguio, Ibaloy, kasi inaano ko rin ito. You know, the kayang, some historical talaga ang Baguio City. Kayang actually is an Ibaloy term because the first settlers of Ibaloy actually are the first settlers of Baguio are the Ibaloy. Proven by the Kayang Street, which means high, kaya may kayang tayo. Abanao is an Ibaloy term for wide, kaya wide yung Abanao. Chanom Street, na before Chanom, pero ngayon pinalitan ngayon nila ng Shanom. May nagkakaano rin is also Ibaloy for water, tubig. Chugum, noon Chugum talaga variety. Baka noon yung mga officials ay basta Chugum, ngayon pinalitan na yung pangalan ng street ng Siagum. But variance and variety yon. Nang ibig sabihin ay wind. Otek Street, where good taste is. Otek is an Ibaloy term for small. Otek. So we can discuss those. Na-integrate na natin ang indigenous knowledge. Gisad or kisad? Hindi ki. Because is actually a low-level area in Ibaloy. Na kisad. Mababang lugar. Kaya may kisad, may gisad. Yes, historical. Alam ba natin ang Baguio City historical? Magsaysay Avenue, although medyo contemporary na siya. Ang alam ng mga kabataan ngayon, Magsaysay 150. Pero ano yung Magsaysay? That came from Ramon Magsaysay. Quirino Hill, Quirino, President Quirino. Aurora Hill, sino sila? Raha Suliman Street. Lacandula Street. Ang alam ng kabataan ngayon, Lacandula is Artux of Lacandula. But Lacandura, Raha Suliman, Diego Silang, those are historical. So, ito, pwede na nating integrate all of these things. And pedagogy is generally understood as the art and science of teaching. So, how are we going now to integrate all these indigenous knowledge systems through different pedagogies? So, it is generally understood as the art and science of teaching. It includes styles, manner of delivery, materials utilized, and the teacher's cultural background. Yun din, maganda ano. This is one avenue wherein we will also, kuminsan teacher kasi tayo, pero hindi rin natin alam, ay kuminsan yung culture natin. At least may naririnig tayo that we can share. And the teacher's cultural background, the teaching approach of teachers is mirrored in their cultural background. So these are the different pedagogies or approaches, and alam ko ginagamit na natin. Of course, the use of authentic materials and research-based instruction. This is one thing, no? Yung mga outputs ng result, we can use them. And also multidisciplinary and multicultural strategies. So different disciplines you can already integrate IKS. Recognition of the diversity of learners. Huwag nating sabihin na alam lahat ng teachers kung minsan natututo din tayo sa ating mga learners. And naano ko yan ngayon sa Cordy, syempre hindi tayo from Ifugao, hindi tayo from Abra, then if pag may taga-Abra tayo na estudyante and then we can use them as a tool of integrating. Pag pinag-share mo na siya about their culture, integration na yon of indigenous knowledge system. And also involvement of the community. We go to the community. Kung minsan hindi kailangan pumunta tayo lahat, but through the research base, kagaya ng mga present ng ibang mga kasama natin, parang pumunta ka na rin sa community. And also, here, pwede rin na we will invite, no? Yun yung ginagamit natin. We are inviting. But these are some of the pedagogies na lumabas, and some things that we can have. So in order for educators and teachers to effectively integrate indigenous knowledge into curriculum content, there is a need to transform individuals' perception of what constitutes legitimate and valuable school knowledge, learning, and teaching. Teachers are educators, and educators need to examine their practices and develop ways to authentically engage and legitimize indigenous knowledge forms into formal education system. Like, for example, the way Sir Jordan, that is an authentic way of yung language, no? Presenting all of this. And kung pwedeng yung mga words din are cultural related, pwede rin, di ba? But the use, just by the use, grammatical presentation of language that is already indigenous. So here are some instructional approaches. Use of technology, di ba? Ngayon, isang pindot lang may technology na. You don't need to go to that community. Makikita mo na yung mga, mag-google na tayo ng mga pictures and things. You can already present them. The use of elders as reliable sources, pwede rin. We can invite and collaborative classroom activities. So pwede nating invite si Sir Jordan on Ibaloy, Sir John sa Kankanae, that can present instead na ikaw ang magdi-discuss, sila ang pwede nating invite and others. Oo nga, sinong mga elders ba natin ngayon, no? Basta yung mga may wisdom, consider natin na elders, Wisdom. O, diba? Yes. Although it goes with the age, So we can invite also wisdom. O basta puti ang buhok, pwede siguro elder na, di ba? Di ba? Marami ang puti ang buhok kasi pumuti dahil sa career research o marami na siyang wisdom. So they can be invited. Collaborative talaga siya. We can invite, yun nga, buti na invite natin si Sir Kinod. Pero Sir Kinod was really, I really received your communication first, but this is also very important. So all our 4 presidents, they are traveling today in Manila for the vice presidents, and president ba? For 4 presidents, kaya pati yung ating welcome address na si Sir, wala sila kasi nag-set ng meeting today for the Board of Regents in Manila. Okay, but they love to be with us. Nakita naman ninyo, even Sir Kinod, inano niya pa in Filipino. So, here again is lumalabas yung communicative language teaching. Involves encouraging learners to take part and reflect on the language or whatever we are presenting. Yun din ang nawawala, although hindi ko alam kung effect yun ng technology. Wala na nga yung communicative response or approach that they will share also what they know. AI na lahat ngayon. But sana, as language teachers, let us still have the communicative language teaching approach. Communication in as many different contexts as possible and as many as necessary, not only for their future language using needs, but also for their present language learning needs. Sino yung nag-mention kanina that the past is, we appreciate the past, we value the present, and let us be inspired sana for the future. Yung mga, kung ano where our language is going, we should be inspired na may patutunguhan ang language natin because of the different approaches and pedagogy that we are using. Okay. Ano pa? Here, ito yung sa communicative language teaching, it talks about linguistic competence and communicative competence. Magkaiba ito, tama ba? Yes. Linguistic and communicative. Although hindi pwedeng paghiwalayin yan, ano? Ito yung ating hinahasa sa ating mga estudyante through the different languages, linguistic competence and communicative competence. Mahahasa yan. And we can use the different indigenous knowledge systems para hasain ang kanilang linguistic competence and communicative competence. Ano pa? Here. Ito yung sinasabi ko, no? Ito ang lumabas, although sa aking research talaga ang nailagay dyan is MapQuest Kalasag. IKS Kalasag. Although tiningnan ko lahat kasi 'di ba ang Cordilleras meron silang iba. Yung design talaga ang iba diyan. No? But still is a Kalasag. Why did I use Kalasag? It symbolizes the very important weapon of safeguarding and preserving the very essence of IKS through the integration of IKS in the language, teaching, learning process. So this Kalasag represents our role of safeguarding and preserving the language. Diba before, napaka-importante ng spear and, anong tawag natin dito? Spear? Shield, pala. Tinatanong ko ngayon kung anong shield. So as educators, as language teachers, we are the Kalasag. We have a very important role in safeguarding and preserving the language that we have para hindi po, so that it will not become an endangered or worse, a dead language. So let's protect and preserve how? By the integration of indigenous language systems, integration of indigenous knowledge systems and practices in our teaching. So you can see there at the center is the communicative language teaching kasi, and here, yung tatlo sa taas is history, identity. Ito naman yung pre-preserve natin. Or these are the way that we are going to use the history, identity, subjectivity, and spirituality, cultural heritage, and linguistic heritage. All of this can be preserved by using communication through the language. And also, ano yung tatlo? How are we going to use communicative language? Through multidisciplinary approach, diversity of learners, authentic materials, involvement of the community, research-based, and multicultural approaches. So all in all, makikita ninyo dyan sa Kalasag na yan or sa shield na yan. So let us be a shield. Let's shield our languages. Therefore, the integration of IKS brings about a strong sense of identity and deeper understanding of one's language, history, and culture. The study can be an instrument in safeguarding. So I hope you will always remember the Kalasag at kung ano ang content ng mga Kalasag na yan as I presented. Safeguarding linguistic and cultural heritage through the use of indigenous pedagogical, pareho yan kasi although pedagogy and approaches dapat, and collaborative instructional practices. Collaborative. Pag collaborative, hindi lang yung co-teacher natin. Outside also, which represents or sila ang magagamit. Like for example, Sir Jordan, siya ang who represents or who models this particular language. And collaborative instructional practices, which is fundamental in the revitalization of language education as a very important agent in the promotion and preservation of indigenous knowledge systems. It can be used as a tool in providing an innovative curriculum focused on achieving linguistic and communicative competence. So natatarget natin ang dalawa, linguistic, communicative, and also culturally rooted and responsive to language education programs as they engage with indigenous communities in localizing, we always hear that, indigenizing and contextualizing as a support to the new system of education in the Philippines. So nabanggit ko kanina, wag tayong na sa mother tongue, very good. We still have the indigenous languages in our own and IKS, integration of IKS here in higher education. There is a need for educators, administrators, and language curriculum planners to support the use of curriculum and instructional practices that build on the indigenous and linguistic background of the students. Mayaman ang mga estudyante natin dito. Let's use them. Indigenous and linguistic background of the students and develop pedagogical practices that appropriately incorporate and or integrate IKS in the formal education system, particularly in the existing language education policy. Abaddag dyan iyaman, sonsi kayon. Amin. Thank you.